This is the last of 3 videos about the making of the Koryak Kayak. In the first video, I made the kayak frame and gave some history of this very unique kayak as well as information about skin-on-frame construction in general. This kayak will be displayed in a condo in Victoria, BC, so it won't be skinned. However, before I let it go to the new owner, I wanted to at least put it on the water and paddle it for a bit, so I temporarily skinned it by wrapping it in shrink wrap and duct tape. Hi, I'm Paul, this is OpenWoodShop.com, and in this video I'm making a display stand for the Koryak Kayak. The upper half of this photograph shows the open area where the kayak will be homed after the remodel of this condo is done. I'll leave links below to part 1 and 2 of this build. In this video I assembled the finished display stand and test it for the first time by hanging the finished kayak frame on it. For convenience's sake, I've numbered the parts. Everything on one side has a number 1 stamped into the wood, and everything on the other side has a number 2 stamp. The 2 cross braces are interchangeable, even though they are slightly different, to match up with the thickness of the wood. It's merely a small aesthetic that won't be seen anyway, but nonetheless I've stamped a T for the top and a B for the bottom on the edge. To assemble, there are 4 1/4-20 bolts, 2 for the top brace and 2 for the bottom brace. They thread into barrel nuts, which is one of the strongest ways that I know of to join 2 pieces of wood together. Everything else is assembled using carriage bolts and shop-made knobs using T-nuts. The edges of the slides are angled at 14 degrees and slide down into the uprights. They have a 1/4-inch groove cut through and run almost the whole length of the slide for maximum adjustability. Then there is a 1/2-inch groove that is cut only partway through the slide, and this houses the carriage bolt head that is used for the hangers. This allows the hangers to be moved freely without hanging up on the uprights. The hangers have a cutout to fit over the slides with the edges trimmed to 14 degrees, and this allows for a very snug fit over the slides. They also have an oak spline that fits into the groove on the slide, so the bolt, the spline, and the snug fitting cutout prevents the hangers from swiveling, which would of course allow the boat to slide off the hangers, which would of course be a very bad thing. Assembly takes only a few minutes, and now it's time to see how I've done. The stand seems more than strong enough and stable enough, although if the boat is tied or strapped some way to the stand, it will firm things up. And since it will be up high on the edge of a ledge, fastening or weighting the stand down might not be a bad idea. I was concerned that the weight of the boat might make it a little bit tippy, but I needn't have worried about that at all. With the boat on the stand, I was able to move the slides up and down, and this will allow for easy adjustment once it's in place. No need to take the boat off, readjust, and then haul the boat back up and put it on and do this several times until you get things just right. It could have been a little easier to slide, but that can be fixed with a little paste wax. I'm not going to do that though, because this stand still needs to be painted first. And this is something that the new owner will do because he wants the stand to be the same new color as his walls. After the paint dries, a little wax might be in order, although it's not really that important, I would say. As you can see, it's a little tight in my little shop, so I can now take it down and store it until the Canadian border opens up and the new owner can come down and pick it up, whenever that may be. It's time to move on to other projects I have coming out, so subscribe, come back and check them out, and as always, thanks for following me around the shop, and now go make something.